let's get this stream started, baby. Let me hear myself real quick and then turn it off. Awesome, perfect. How I sound? Let me hear myself real quick and then turn it off. I think I sound good. Mic check 1 2. Awesome, perfect. How I sound? Okay, all right. I think I sound good. Mic check 1 2. All right, that's enough. That's enough. We're ready to roll. We are ready to roll. What's up, TikTok? We're streaming live on TikTok right now. We're not quite live on Facebook. We're about to be live on Facebook shortly here. YouTube. Make sure we can get the YouTubers on this live stream too. And then we'll start talking about our talking points. We're talking about 3 ways that literal thinking can hurt you in relationships. Is my YouTube working? I do it from. Let me make sure we can get our YouTubers on here because we love and appreciate our YouTubers just as much. So I'm gonna get my YouTube boys and girls on in here. Oh, okay, all right. It says that we're streaming. I do have to change the title of the stream on YouTube, but we are streaming on YouTube, so never mind. We're rocking, we're rolling. It's literal thinking can hurt you in relationships. Save. All right, I think the YouTube title is been updated, so we should be live on YouTube right now. Oh, I love it when technology works out the way that it's supposed to work. All right. Okay. Perfect. All right. Sarah, I can see your comment on YouTube. Drew, I see your comment as well. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody is doing all right. Obviously, I can see my TikTokers. I can see y'all. That's my biggest platform. So I see y'all. Derek, what's going on? Coco, what's going on? Holly? TikTok, dang. It froze me for a second. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Let's bring on our boys and girls from Facebook, and then we'll be completely ready to go. All right, we're rolling on Facebook in 3, 2. Showtime. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show, Dr. Kojo. I'm your host, Dr. Kojo, and tonight we're talking about literal thinking and how it can ruin or make your relationship that much harder. All right, so literal thinking is something that not only you see in autism, but you can see this in anybody who has any kind of neurodivergence. And also you can see literal thinking in someone who has no mental health condition. So you don't have to have a diagnosable mental health condition in order to struggle with literal thinking. But we commonly associate literal thinking or struggling with it with autism. All right, so as I get into it, let me go ahead and look at the comment section to see who all is here. So I know we have Sarah and Drew on YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook as well. So my Facebookers, show some love. Yes, Facebook still exists. Somebody on TikTok said Facebook still exists. Yeah, Facebook is my fastest growing platform. I think people look at the numbers on TikTok and think that that's where all the attention is. It is my biggest platform, and it will probably be so for another maybe year or so. But Facebook is my fastest growing platform. I anticipate that next year we will have more Facebook followers than TikTok. Right now we're at 1.7 million on Facebook. It's a pretty big number, guys. But on TikTok we have 2.8 million. So I think that TikTok will be overtaken by Facebook next year, but the love will be the same. TikTok, I love y'all. Nonetheless, Unconquerable Life, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Darren, Drew, okay. People are following on in. Layla P. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we have our people. Leah had an autism assessment today and found out that she's level 2 autism. Congratulations, Leah. Congrats. You got a diagnosis, which is a term that explains the majority of the behaviors that you exhibit. So now that you know that you have autism, you can put together the rest of your life. So that way you have the help, the support, and the accommodations that you need in order to thrive. So shout out to Leah on TikTok for getting her autism diagnosis. That's very exciting. The message, no, I fixed YouTube just now. No worries. Okay, no worries. Yes, let's post the first today. All right, there we go. Alessandra, thank you very much. Alessandra on Facebook, I appreciate you. Amy on Facebook, I see you and I appreciate you. Someone in the comments said I got diagnosed with autism at 17. Okay. And somebody asks, what does level 2 mean? Let me explain level 2 autism briefly, and then we'll talk about 3 ways that literal thinking can hurt your relationships. So level 2, well, let's talk about the level system of autism. All right. So we have 3 different levels when it comes to autism: level 1, level 2, and then level 3. All right. So the higher the number, right, 2 and 3, theoretically, the more support you'll need. So somebody who has level 1 autism, these are your people who sometimes don't get diagnosed until much later in life because people don't realize that they have autism, and sometimes they don't know that they have it themselves. Level 1 autism, you will struggle to communicate and pick up on some social cues, or you'll mask to fit in. For somebody who has level 1 autism, typically you'll do just as good as everybody else on the surface. But what people don't see is how much energy and effort it's taking for you to keep up socially with others, how much masking you're having to do to be invited to birthday parties and to be invited to work hangouts and gatherings, all of that. So somebody who has level 1 autism, sometimes they go under the radar. And I sometimes feel for my people who are on the spectrum and they're level 1 because people don't think that they have autism. So these are the people who will be forced to prove that they have autism, which is a very weird type of thing. Like, how are you going to ask me to prove they have autism? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you have level 1 autism, that's what some people will think. With level 2, your impairments when it comes to communicating are a bit more pronounced. And autism is struggling to communicate with others because you experience the world and you communicate differently. So with level 2, you have more communication impairments. You might not pick up on things as much. You need more external support. The higher you go with the numbers, the more support you need. And someone who is level 3 autism, this is somebody who has significant challenges when it comes to social impairments, when it comes to communication. And this type of person will need more external support in order to survive. And sometimes thriving can be difficult for level 3, but it is still possible. If you have a really, really, really good system, then if you have level 3 autism, you can still have a relatively good quality of life. So great question. Great question. Great. Oh, the guitar? Yeah, that's a fancy guitar that I should play more. I should play it more. And Alessandra, normally when you get diagnosed with autism, your provider should tell you where you are on the spectrum. At least that's how I know it. They should give you some indication as to what level you are. That's something that they should tell you. All right, so my talking points right here. All right. 3 ways that literal thinking can hurt relationships. So, like I said, literal thinking is something that you can associate it with autism, but it doesn't have to be that you're autistic. You can have ADHD or you can have no mental health conditions and still struggle with literal thinking. All right. So, number 1, the first way that you can struggle in your relationship if literal thinking is a thing for you, is you don't get certain things, right? You don't understand the meaning behind words, right? Like the hidden meaning behind words. So sometimes people will tell you things in a sarcastic tone. People will tell you things and they won't expect a response. Some things will be rhetorical. But if you don't get this, you could be offended. I don't want to say easily offended, because for you, you're really offended because you really took what they said, the wrong way. You didn't know that they're being sarcastic. So if somebody says something and it looked like they scoffed at you, you're like, who are you talking to? Like, what do you mean? If you're in a relationship, let's say you're talking with your partner and you feel as if they're making fun of you, you're not, there's no way to rectify that. Now, even if they aren't making fun of you, let's say they're laughing with you, but you think that they're laughing at you. If this is the case, you're going to be stuck and you won't be able to move past the situation unless both people are on the same page and both people realize that there was a misinterpretation. Because until you realize that the person they didn't mean to make fun of you, until you know that in your soul, then you're going to question their intent. If you question someone's intent and they are supposed to be your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, now we're at an interesting place, because after you question someone's intent for too long, you become a bit paranoid. And this is when people start to think and ask themselves if it's worth it to stay in their relationship. This person's always making fun of me. They're using words I don't understand, or their tone is off. Are they mad at me? Why would they do this to me? This is my partner, the person I've chosen to live with and do life with. Why are they doing this to me? Until you all can get on the same page communication wise, you might think that it's you or them versus you, as opposed to the two of y'all versus a problem. So literal thinking can be a big problem, not just in relationships, but in any interpersonal relationship or friendship. Because you have to know that the person, even if they do something to hurt you, you have to know that that person didn't mean to hurt you. At no point in any relationship with a loved one, someone that you're close with, a coworker, maybe not coworkers, but like your romantic relationship and your loved ones, at no point should you question their intent for far too long. Because if you do, that's when things become a legitimate problem. Looking at the comments here. Roofdy, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, 500 comments are live. Thank you, Coco. I appreciate that. I'm looking here, Facebook. Oh, Alessandra, it's a little weird, but sometimes I've seen some providers who do that. They don't go into the specifics of where you are on the spectrum. Romero says, it's such a struggle to find a psychiatrist in the area. It can be, depending on where you're at. And on YouTube, let me see, Layla saying, or they could expect a response, but it seems redundant and unnecessary to respond. Right. Communication mishaps lead to a lot of problems. And also, a lot of communication is nonverbal. So just by how your affect is, maybe your face communicates something to them. Your face, you have some look on your face which conveys that you don't understand something. And if your partner feels as if you should understand that thing, they may be drained. They'll think to themselves, why do I have to keep explaining every single thing? And sometimes when you're dating somebody on the spectrum, it can feel like you're walking on eggshells. And that's not their intention, but it can feel as if you're walking on eggshells, because now you don't know what you can joke about, what you can say. And like I said, the intent is in question. So if you question someone's intent, then the other person might want to stop joking altogether, because they don't want to encounter a scenario where they make a joke and you're offended and you take it personally. You're taking things literally and you take things personally. And now the joke that they made, just, out of good spirits, the joke didn't land. And there's no worse feeling than not having a joke land. I know from doing stand-up comedy that not having a joke land is a bad feeling. But having a joke be taken out of context, it's even worse. Because like I'd rather people just not laugh. But if it's as if you think that, like I hate you, or I'm talking about a certain demographic, then it's like, okay, well, I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that. And someone on YouTube makes a good point. Online interactions have less visual cues. Yes, and guys, there's something called online social etiquette, right? We have unspoken rules of social media that maybe should be spoken more, because some people don't understand those rules. But we know that when we come in a live stream, we shouldn't leave hate comments and racist and sexist comments, but people still do that. People still do that. We know that when we're online, it's not a good idea to put our home address, right? Or personal details, social security number, easily identifiable key details. We shouldn't do things like that. So these are things that we just kind of know because we know. Now, I'm not saying that every person on the spectrum can take things literally and personally, and they may not know how to navigate the online waters, but online and social media is a beast of a place to be. So sometimes you could make a couple of missteps trying to find your footing in this complicated online world. It can be hard. It can be hard. By hearing and hearing by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Adriana says, can you go deeper a little bit on the eggshell thing and how it's different from walking on eggshells in other situations? All right, so once again, Adriana, all right, let's say I'm dating an autistic woman who I met, and she's from, let's say, a different culture, right? And let's say she's from a different culture, all right? And she is in theater, and she's gonna go out, and she has a big play, a play that she's been working on for months. And I tell her, I say, hey, Amy, I'm making up names, Amy, best of luck tonight. I love you. I know you're gonna do a great job. Break a leg. If she's from a different culture and she's on the spectrum, and I tell her to break a leg, and I laugh while I'm saying this, she might think that I want her to get hurt, to fracture her leg, and to have surgery. If she doesn't know that I'm telling her to have good luck, if she really doesn't know this, and she sees me laughing, then she might perceive it to be, oh, this is such a big night for me. You don't support me, you want me to hurt myself? Like, why would you say something like that? Okay, so that's just one example. So if this happens repeatedly in the relationship and things are being taken out of context, at some point you start to question the other person's intent for you, because you don't know what these things mean. So that's why every time there's a miscommunication or we're not on the same page, we gotta pause and slow down and make sure that, hey, we're on the same team. We appreciate each other. Things are just being taken out of context. Because if you can't do that and you just skate past the situation, then you're going to make things harder for the relationship. And harder for the other person too. Let me see what my assistant said. Generally speaking, around that. But at times. Okay. Now let me get to my second talking point. And yes, people are mean. Guys, look, we live in a mean world where people say things with intention of getting underneath your skin. So that's why sometimes it's just hard to understand. Because if somebody's messing with you on purpose and you're laughing with them, once you realize that the person was laughing at you and not with you, then that really hurts. Because now you let your guard down. You thought that they were cool. You thought that they were gang, but they're not. They're the ops. They're not on your side. It doesn't feel good at all. It doesn't feel good at all. All right. The second way that literal thinking can hurt your relationships, you can struggle with flexible or changing plans. What do I mean by this? All right. If somebody, once again, same example, I'm dating this autistic woman from a different culture. Her name is Amy. All right. And she says, okay, tonight's date night. You said we're gonna go to Texas Longhorn, right? It's date night tonight. And I say, hey, I'm busy. I gotta hit the gym. I gotta make, a YouTube video. I gotta post on Instagram. I gotta post on LinkedIn. I gotta do my meetings with John. I gotta live stream. But it's still date night. We'll go out somewhere between 7 and 9. Okay. Let's just say I told my autistic lady, hey, we'll go out somewhere between 7 and 9. I might be running ahead of schedule and say, okay, all right, let's go out now. And it's 6:45. Or I might be running behind, which is the more likely of the two options. And it's 9:10, 9:15. And I'm grabbing my keys. I'm like, all right, okay, let's head out for date night. I said it's between 7 to 9. But if she's taking it literally, she might be ready at 6:55 to 7 on the dot. And as we get to 8 o'clock and 8:30 and 8:45 and 8:50 and 8:55, she might start just taking off her clothes and getting into some pajamas because, okay, you said 7 to 9. So it's 9:10 right now. I don't think you want to go out for date night. So this is why it helps to be specific. And generally speaking, you should be specific in any relationship, whether there's neurodivergence there or not, unless you have a really good rapport with this person. If y'all been dating for 10, 20 years, the couples that have been together for years and years and years, 20, 30 years, like at some point you kind of know what the other person's gonna do. So even if you are on the spectrum and they say 7 to 9, you're like, okay, Kojo's late, whatever. That means 9:30. But in the beginning, when things cannot be assumed, if I say between 7 to 9 and it's 9:15 and I'm getting ready, you're like, what are you doing? You said 7 to 9. It's over. It's over. And sometimes it helps to have somebody who's good with time in the relationship and somebody else who is questionable with time, kind of like myself, because if both people in a relationship struggle with time, oh Lord, we're never going to catch a flight. We're going to be late everywhere. We're going to pay extra for everything. So you need somebody. Sometimes the literal thinking is helpful because those of us who have ADHD, we like to stretch it. We like to take a chance. We like that feeling of catching a flight at the last second. I love that feeling way too much. I get this high from being the last person on the plane, and I need to work on that. I'm still working on that, but it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Sarah, what's going on? Amber, how are you? Leilani, good to see you. Good to see you on Facebook too. Amber says, I hurt in dating by overthinking and jumping to conclusions. I have to know the what ifs. Okay, guys, this is a safe space. So if you like to jump to conclusions, drop a 1 in the chat. All my jumpers out there, drop a 1 in the chat. This is a safe space. If you jump to conclusions, all my jumpers, where you at? I have to know the what ifs. I heard dating by overthinking and jumping to conclusions. Jumping to conclusions. I find that it's best to not jump to conclusions, but sometimes your intuition is right. And what do you make of that? Sometimes you just have a feeling that they're cheating on you, and you're right. I'm not saying to be paranoid, but sometimes you have a feeling that something is off. So I wouldn't ignore your gut feeling, because more times than not, you're right. But allowing yourself to potentially be wrong and giving people the benefit of the doubt, that's a much more sustainable feeling. Because jumping to conclusions all the time, you will be paranoid. Okay, we got Leona, Travis, Hannah. Okay, we got a couple of jumpers in the chat. I'm not a jumper. I don't really jump to conclusions. I feel like, all right, something's happening, then God will put it in front of me and then I'll know what to do then. I don't really jump. I have so much going on. I don't have time to jump. But I guess I have been an overthinker before. Okay, Naria, a jumper. Naria says, that's hilarious. I'm Professionally, arriving at my son's appointments right on time. Oh, okay. Believe it or not, you do have people out there who get to places on time. There are people out there like Naraya who actually know that they're supposed to be somewhere at 6 o'clock, or that they have a 3 o'clock appointment and they're there at 2:53. These people exist, guys. I know. There are people who do this, and it's remarkable. Dave, I appreciate you. Sarah, Amy, got some jumpers in there. People jumping to conclusions. Only jump during basketball. Okay, look, Peter. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh yeah, Jen. Yeah, I still practice. Jen. It's a practice. I enjoy practicing. Not sure how much longer I can combine that with comedy, but I'll practice. I won't burn myself out though. I cannot be late for anything. I've tried. Amber, where in the world are you, Amber? Amber is in Cartersville, Georgia. Sorry to put your location out there. Like, we don't know where you are in Cartersville, so I'll just say that. Don't know where you are. But Amber says, I cannot be late for anything. I've tried. Amber, can you help me out? Like, what do you have within you that allows you to not be late? Whatever you have, Amber, like, let me get some of that. Just a little bit of it. Because being on time for me is like, oh, Lord. Like, I'll be fashionably late. And it's not that I don't want to be there. I just, like, I want to catch my flights. I want to show up on time to the comedy club, because if you're late, you're not a good professional. But I'll show up late with the camera crew and actually, the photographer will be there, the videographer will be there. I'll be the late one. And they kind of expect me to be late. But that's not good. I want to work on that. So whatever Amber does, Amber, please help me out, because Daddy's tried about everything. Everything. Feel free to use my lines during the show. Well, whenever I come to Houston, I'll have to use that line. If that's where you're at. Houston or Austin. Lovita, somewhere there. 1,000 alarms. Jess. Man, I remember a couple, how long ago was this? I think it was like 3 or 4 years back. I was on call. And where was that working for me to be on call? I can't remember. All I remember was that I was on call, and I would sleep through the call. So if you don't know anything about being on call, if you be on call, nurses will call you and they'll say, oh, so-and-so is aggressive, or like they're anxious. Can they get some Visceral? Can they get Zyprexa 10, Haldol, Benadryl, Ativan, so on and so forth. The nurses know what I'm gonna order. Like, my practice style never really changed. Like, it's always Visceral before Ativan, but sometimes you have to do Ativan and Haldol and Benadryl and Zyprexa. So whatever I say, like, it's the same thing, but I still have to pick up the phone and say some words. I slept through a couple of the nurses' phone calls. It was so bad that one time, I guess this is when I was back in Virginia. This is a while back. It was so bad one time that I paid my younger brother to stay awake for me. And he was in high school, so he would stay awake and play video games. And if somebody called from the hospital, he would just pick me up. He said, Coach, wake up. Wait. I'd be like, hello. But it was just so hard to wake myself up. Like, on multiple occasions, I've searched world's loudest alarm clock on Amazon. I've done this, and I bought one recently here, and it's not the world's loudest alarm clock, but I try my best to find. I try. And if y'all know the world's loudest alarm clock, please let me know. One that's obnoxiously loud. Help me out. Amber says, I'm obsessed with being on time. My anxiety tries to prepare for anything to happen. Amber, that's what it is. It's anxiety. Okay, it's anxiety. Okay. Gotcha. I got a little bit of anxiety, but maybe not as much as I should have. I remember one time, man, like, I guess I'm just too cool for school. I remember one time I was rushing to catch a flight. I'm leaving Los Angeles, and I'm um, I'm nearing the end of a date. The date's over and done with, and I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at my phone, and I'm looking at the flight. And there's no way that I'm gonna make the flight. Like I just know, okay, like I have TSA pre-check and everything, but there's no way I can make this flight. And I'm looking at the phone. I'm looking at the girl, and she's like, "Why aren't you like why aren't you like concerned? Like you're just so chill. You're so calm." And in my head, I'm like, "It's because I'm smooth. It's because I'm a smooth criminal." But then the other side of my head is like, "Damn, I'm gonna have to pay another extra $200 to catch another flight, and I'm late again." But yeah, some of us we like. I feel like you're on either spectrum. Like you just can't get to places on time, and some people can't be late. Like Amber, just cannot be late. Ah, Adriana, get a metal one with bells. It sounds like a school bell. Yo, I gotta go back to the medieval times. Wow. Diagnose OCD. Oh, okay. Okay, wow. And sometimes, I don't want to say sometimes OCD. I mean, I guess OCD can be helpful at times, but OCD tends to be very time consuming. But, there are ways to spin things to make it work for you. Lindsay, how you doing? We're off topic, but I feel like this need for something like mental on my skin to fall asleep. Cassie, one of these days we need to have a live stream about insomnia and sleep. If you're neurodivergent in this chat, you probably struggle with sleep, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's hard to wake up in the morning. It takes a ton to wake me. Literally, I have to label my calls and I wake up. What's up from Tennessee? Hey, C Swans, I appreciate you. San Antonio. I've never been to San Antonio. I've been to Texas. Spent so much time in Texas, but never been to San Antonio. It's weird. But I might need one of those medieval alarm clocks, a bell, something, something. It's just hard to get me up. It'd be hard. It's hella hard. But to my second talking point, it can be hard with flexible or changing plans when like you go by the book and literal thinking is a thing. So I think if you're dating somebody who struggles with literal thinking, it can be helpful to give wider windows or to just give updates, as you go along and say, all right, I said date night was going to be 7 o'clock. I'm running behind. It's 7:02 now, so let's aim for 8 o'clock. And at 7:30, check in with me and see if I'm off my live stream, something like that. Just give them a heads up so that way they're not just left to be wondering. Jammy Jam is a beautiful city. I've heard great things about San Antonio. The Alamo, the Spurs. That's all I know. That's all I know. But I would love to come out to San Antonio and maybe do a show out there. This is a really, really big city. So I want to know your thoughts about relationships of a partner having ADHD and bipolar. McQuayla. All right, quick little detour here. ADHD and bipolar. You have to understand. I mean, yes, you have to know about the mental health conditions, but you have to know how it affects your partner. So yeah, you have to know how it affects your partner because clinically, if somebody has ADHD and bipolar, we treat the bipolar first. You treat the mood component first, and then you treat the attentional deficits. So if you're following that formula in the relationship, if something is disturbing their mood and that gets addressed, and then you help them regulate their focus and attention, then theoretically they will do better, and as a result, y'all would do better. Need to do tourist locations. Oh, okay. Riverwalk is a special. Oh, I love basketball. That's why I smile hard. There are neurodivergent friendly recommendations in San Antonio. Okay. Okay then. All right then. Cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see. A 4 member. Can I recommend a place in New Jersey? I don't know a place in New Jersey. I don't know, but uh, I think one thing that I've thought about for far too long, and I haven't done it, is a directory. I've been saying on this idea for far too long, but a directory of where to find providers based off of your location, which may not be helpful if you live in somewhere that's very remote, but something like that could be pretty cool, I think. Like that would make me feel better because then I would know, okay, I'm connecting you to a provider. So something I've thought about, but I've been thinking about it for too long and not taking action on it. All right, okay, all right, this is my third talking point right here. The third way that literal thinking can hurt you in relationships: giving honest answers, but at the wrong time. Guys, once again, this is why it's exhausting to have to know what the right thing to say is. And if you're autistic, you probably feel like you're walking through life and everything is a quiz. You're not answering things based off of how you feel after a while, because when you answered honestly, people didn't like your response. Like, you would answer and you would be honest, and people would have weird looks on their faces. People would be, put off by what you said. So you learn to lie, essentially, because everybody else is lying. Honest answers at the wrong time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sometimes, not that you have to lie, but you don't have to say the full thing. So, but see, this is why neurodivergent relationships, where both people are, a little on the spectrum. You can't be a little on the spectrum, but you know what I'm saying. It's cool because if you know that your partner likes you being direct and you're direct, and you like them being direct for you, then you can ask a question like, do I look okay in this? How many guys out there, for all the guys who watch me, it may not be a lot, but for all the guys out there, when your girl says, do I look okay in this? You don't answer that question correctly. And if you do answer it correctly, you look at the clock and see how much time you have, because it's going to be a fight if you say how she actually looks in the dress. You just say, oh, okay, yeah, that's the noise you make. Do I look okay in this? You got to make that noise. Because if you tell her how she looks in it, then, Now, if you think that she looks okay in it, oh yeah, you look okay in it. But if you don't think that she looks okay in it, it's best to not really say what you think, unless the person has told you to be direct with them. And even then, sometimes they'll be upset with you, but at least they've given you the license to be straight up. Do I look okay in this? Guys, look, I'm not saying my oldest sister's on the spectrum, but look, I'm not the only neurodivergent one in the family, because it runs in families. But we went out for my dad's birthday in Atlanta, right, a couple of weeks ago. So we're in Atlanta, and we're eating hibachi. So all of us are at the table, the guys, making the fire. We're all having a good time. Then one of the servers, right, middle-aged woman. I think she also had a birthday recently. She had a birthday recently. And then she asked, I think she was trying to flirt with me, because she was trying to get my attention, but my nephews were, they were talking to me, so, I was preoccupied with that. She's asking us, and I saw her look at me for a second, but she's asking us, how old do you think I look? Guys, when a middle-aged woman, even though we're neurodivergent, I think we all know the answer to this. When a middle-aged woman asks you how old you think she looks, you never give the answer that first pops up in your head. You have to go at least 10 years younger. If you think she's 51, you say 41. If you think she's 41, you say 31. If you think she's 35, you say 23. You never say the exact number. So this woman asked us, how old do you think I am? I just had a birthday. My oldest sister goes 41. And the lady was offended because she was 39. And it's only 2 years, but she went older. And I'm sitting there like, I'm like, Cristobal, you can't say that. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say the actual number that you think she is. So to whoever that woman was in Atlanta, on behalf of my sister, I apologize. We have some undiagnosed neurodivergence in our family, and we'll get it checked out. We'll get it treated professionally. We'll work it out. But that was funny to me. I'm like, I'm like, Cristobal, you don't say the actual number, because now she's gonna be offended. And guess what? She was 39. What do we know about women who are 39? They never turn 40. They'll turn 39. Then the next year they'll be 39 again. The next year they'll be 39, and the next year after that they'll be 37. They never turn 40. You can't say the actual number. So you see how tricky things are socially? It's an honest answer, but damn it, it's at the wrong time. You can't be honest at all times. You can't be honest. I was weak there at the restaurant. I was trying not to laugh. And when you're trying to laugh, it makes things that much like funnier. I'm like, I can't laugh, but I can't. And when I go home to Nashville for Christmas, I'm gonna bring up this story because my sister shouldn't have done that. She should have known better. She should have known better. You just can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. And Rachel is saying, I always want an honest answer, even if the person might think it will hurt my feelings. I'd rather know the honest thoughts than always question whether they're lying. So Rachel, okay, hear me out. Rachel, if you're part of my community, you're probably somebody who likes, honesty, straightforward, the truth. So guys, you have to understand that if you watch me, whether it's my live streams or if my videos hit your For You page, you're not a normal person, okay? Anybody who watches my live streams or you appreciate my content, you're not a normal person. You are weird. I am weird. In order for you to watch me and appreciate me, you have to be weird as well. So for us, we like honesty. I like honesty. Just tell me that my pants are unzipped. Like let me know. It'll hurt my feelings, but I'll appreciate it. But you have to understand that over here, we are weird. So I believe you, Rachel. I believe you, Rachel, that you want the honest truth, okay? But I know good and well that when I get out there into the real world, the neurotypical world, that I can't tell the truth all the time because I just can't. People don't want the truth. People want to feel good about themselves. People don't want the truth. People want to feel good. The truth is not what feels good most of the time. Sometimes the truth is what feels good, but most of the time the truth isn't what makes you feel good. I'm on TikTok, Courageously Me. I appreciate honesty. Guys, like I said, if you're watching me, then you're weird like me. And Candy says, are you guys doing the 10 years thing younger on me? Yes, Candy, if you ask me how old I think you are, Candy, you look about 17. I'm 40 and I look 40 to 50. I'm cool with that. I like complete honesty. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. But once again, you're an alien. You're in my community. Suave says, I'm sending my daughter to Nashville for Christmas. Don't send your daughter to Nashville. I ain't going to pick her up at the airport. Suave, I appreciate you. I'd rather have the truth even if it hurts. Guys, like I said, we are all weird over here. So we want the truth. I'll argue that more people here want the truth than not. Zoe, give me a second. I'll take you out, Zoe. Give me a second. You've done a good job. I'm 35. I feel 17. Yeah, Candy, I never would have known that you're 35. I never would have guessed it. You look like you're 17. You look like you're a minor, like you're in high school, like you have class tomorrow. Yeah, there's no way you're 35. No way. No way. And when a woman in her 30s, when you tell a woman in her 30s that she looks like she's 23 or 17, and she says, I'm 35. After that, you have to be like, no way. You don't look a day over 20, 24. You're 35? No way. No way. You can't be 35. That's what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to be like, yeah, you look 35. You can't do that. You can't do that. Hayden, I appreciate you. Thank you, my guy. Hayden, I appreciate you. You're the reason I've embraced being weird. Make me good. We should take pride in being weird. Nothing wrong with being weird. Kofi Pounds, what do you say when someone makes food for you and you don't really enjoy it? So my dad gave me a story. My dad would always tell this story to us when we were kids about him getting food from a stranger. And this is Ghana in the 70s and 60s. So this is a long time ago in a different continent. But he said somebody gave him and his siblings some food, and he's at their house. So he took the food. He said, thank you so much. And then when he got closer to home, he just kindly dumped the food. But the next time he saw them, he said, oh, thank you for the food. I appreciate you. He was kind. He was courteous, but he didn't eat the food. Look, I have had exploratory surgery before. So I've had surgery. I've had a colonoscopy. Like, I've had actual surgery over some food that I think went bad. So if somebody's food doesn't taste good, I'm not going to make them feel bad about themselves, but I'm not going to eat the food. I'll take it home. I'll take it home, but I'm not going to eat the food. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself. Now, if it's a friend of mine, once again, man, I have so many dating stories. Girl made me cookies, and she made me cookies and said, you can tell me the truth. Tell me how good these cookies are, and I won't be offended. I said, don't ask me that question. Sometimes before people ask a question like that, you should know whether the person is neurodivergent or not. She said, tell me how good these cookies are. On a scale of 1 to 10, I promise I won't be offended. I'll take a bite. I said, these are about 7.5. 7.5, they're good. But to me, a 7.5 is a good rating. She was a little offended, but 7.5 is a good rating. But now I know, okay, next time somebody asks you about the cookies, you got to go a point or two higher. But I prefer being, honest, if I can be. Don't lie to us, though. So I know how things work. I know how things work. 35 looking 17. Oh, Sif, are you ready for the truth? All right, okay. If you're in this community, all right, I'll give it to you. You probably do want the truth. You probably do want the truth. You hear from my stems? 8.7. That's what's up, Hayden. Should have given it to the homeless person. No, the cookies weren't bad. The cookies were good. I ate all the cookies now. Maybe the cookies were better than 7.5 on second thought. Because I took them home and they hit harder after the fact. You know what? Those cookies were 8. They were 8 because they hit harder after the fact. Sometimes certain foods just hit harder like a couple hours later. It's kind of like hibachi. Like hibachi is good at the restaurant, but when you go home and it's 11 p.m. and you're tired and you're looking around for some food, there's no food in the refrigerator, and you see the hibachi that you brought home with you, oh, that food's finna smack. Oh. Some food is just better as like leftovers or just at least 3-4 hours after the fact. And that's how those cookies were. Those cookies were real good. I have a problem sugarcoating things. And guys, I will say, even though we're weird over here and we're direct, there are times that you have to sugarcoat things. I hate to say it, but there are times when you have to sugarcoat things. Sometimes some people don't have a lot of context around who you are as a person, or they won't get your humor. Sometimes you just let people off. But that's one of the best things about having a rapport with somebody, because you can be honest and you can be upfront. Madame Sovereign says, "How do you personally determine how ingenuine to be?" See, you learn through trial and error. You don't really know sometimes. You don't really know. You learn through trial and error, because you want people to, to like you to some extent, but a part of your soul dies when you have to laugh at a joke that's not funny, or you have to pretend as if something is cool and you're not cool with it, because you're not being authentic to yourself. All of that is masking. But I mean, sometimes we're just rewarded for those things. Special. Molly, there were no special gummies involved making the cookies taste better. Now, if I had some special gummies, those cookies would have tasted, ooh, they would have been a 10. They would have been an absolute 10. Ooh, I would have felt so good. But no special gummies. No special gummies. I like how y'all said special gummies. Weak. But if a girl makes you cookies, rate them at 15. No. Well, all right. If it's a girl that, like, I'm dating, or we're on a date, or there's any type of romantic interest, I'm going to be honest. And that's only for that girl, because I don't want to get off on a bad foot. I don't want to lie. Like, I'd rather you realize that I'm a jerk in the beginning than, for me to be, so nice. And I'm a nice person, but you asked me an honest question. So I'll be very upfront in the beginning, because I don't want expectations when dating. I don't want that. Like, I want the bar to be as low as possible. I want the bar to be so low. I want the bar to be so low that I open the door for you and your heart falls out of your chest. You're overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, she's a gentleman. That's how low I want the bar to be, because I would rather surprise you than disappoint you. So I want like a super low bar. Oh, Sifa. Oh, okay. Giving food they don't like to homeless people. Not a bad option. Or eat a cold. I ain't gonna eat a cold. Now, even the homeless person may not want it, but I don't like wasting food in general, so I see that. Why does everybody think that I was gardening when I was eating those cookies? I was not gardening when I was eating those cookies. Look, I've learned not to garden when you go on a date. Not a good idea, guys. And sometimes, as the weird neurodivergence that we are, when you garden or you get a little tipsy on a date, it brings out the coolest version of you. Sometimes you think that. But no, because if I garden on a date, then I'm going to be eating everything, any and everything, and I'm going to be too giggly. I want to be serious. Like, I don't know who you are yet, so let me keep my frame. Just relax. Rate them a damn 15. There's only one answer. Well, now because you want me to rate the cookies 15, I'm gonna rate them a 7.5, half of 15, because I have demand avoidance. So you telling me to rate them a 15, I gotta give you half. I gotta give you a half. That's why people are miserable in relationships. They lied. Courageously me, thank you for saying that. And me and the guys talk about this all the time. Like low expectations, and especially with me, people thinking that, oh, he's doing this or he's there. No, like, I'm a regular guy. Like, I am going to disappoint you as well. My bar should also be very, very low. Very low. And like Courageously Me says, if you lie in the beginning, you will have to lie to continue it. So just be yourself as best as possible. Now, if it's somebody, like, if it's let me give you all a great example. Let's say you are at a funeral and somebody asks you something about, like, they brought some food. Oh, how was the cornbread? If the cornbread was nasty, you don't tell them that the cornbread was nasty at a funeral, okay? Because you're at a funeral. You say, oh, yeah, I appreciate the cornbread. Like, I'll try my best not to lie. I'll say, I appreciate the cornbread. Thank you for the gesture of making the cornbread. But I won't say it was nasty. Okay. Now I might fake it to myself, like, damn, like, that was some dry cornbread. But I'm not gonna say that at a funeral. You know, like, this is a funeral. Now if it's somebody you're dating, you know, like, hey, there's always ways to say what you want to say and dress it up to make it seem a little nicer. Like, oh, you know, you've had better days. You know, oh, yeah. Yeah, you can just make the noise. It tastes like funeral food. Okay. On the ADHD post, sap on the tab. That will be correct. I think that ADHD ad is still running. So yeah, I enjoy making that video. There we go. I'm so thankful for this food. Thank you so much for making it. And the girl who the cookies were 7.5, I told her thank you. I said, I appreciate these cookies. Because if you take time to make me cookies, thank you. You could have been making cookies for another guy, but you made me cookies. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Far too kind. Omar, I appreciate you. Thank you. Zara says, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Now, Zara, I don't agree with that. Because sometimes it is what you say. Most of the times, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But sometimes, for somebody who doesn't like hearing what they're hearing from you, you could say it in a really nice way, and it just won't hit. So it is how you say things. Sometimes it can also be what you say. But if it's something that has to be said, then, I mean, still deliver it. Don't worry about what they'll say about what you felt. You had to say it. Some things you can just say in a very nice tone, but people will still be upset about it. Oh, Miss Cake, do you make cookies? Name is Miss Cake is back. Okay. You probably bake cakes. I said that's because of you. I definitely have ADHD. I appreciate the Sab on the tab. I'm happy that people are learning from that ad. I mean, it makes me feel really good. Like, I love doing brand deals and campaigns that are in alignment with, like, what I do. Nothing feels better than that, because I hate seeing brand deals come in and I'm like, ooh, yes, I would love the money, but I can't do this. This is not a good idea. It's clearly going to be triggering for my community. So when a brand deal is linear with what I do, it's the best. It's the best. I'm a woman with a heart. Respect. And I feel like my inner circle of people, I mean, we make some jokes that, like, I won't even repeat online. So we're kind of crazy and, you know, yeah, crazy. We're crazy, so we kind of say a lot. So the way I talk in those settings, I wouldn't bring it online. And sometimes not even at a comedy show, unless it's in a certain context where the person gets me. So the nicest way to deflect. To the person, I would say, I wrap some home to take. Literally the discussion I'm having with my ADHD son. Some nice ways to deflect. Facts. My neurotypical friends refuse to ask my opinion because I'm just going to say whatever, but it's the correct response. Yeah, and when somebody asks you, or if you ask somebody a question and they feel like they have to say a certain thing, you probably won't get the the person's true and honest thoughts. Kayla, thank you for the stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I mean, if you can now here's the thing, don't hurt nobody's feelings like by being direct. There are ways to dress up things and still protect somebody's integrity. So none of this should be used as a way to be a jerk. I just want to say that. But I don't think that anybody here is looking to be a jerk on purpose. I've assumed that we're just direct, which I'm 95% sure is the case. I left the 5% in there because, like, you guys never know. So I left the 5% in there, so you just never know. You never know. I got diagnosed 2 weeks ago. Congrats on the diagnosis, Shawnee. Congratulations. Amber, thank you for coming on the live stream. I appreciate you. As long as you got your suit and tie. I read that in the Timberlake voice. Sugar is better than sex. I do not agree with that. I guess. I've had some pretty good sugar, but I don't agree with that. Sugar's pretty damn good though. Equally as addicting. I'm no longer able to mask. You avoid people altogether. Autism and ADHD has ruined my life. Sorry to hear that. I mean, one way to stop masking is to avoid people altogether. We don't talk about that option often, but yes, if you avoid people altogether, then you can avoid masking. But then you don't get community. But there are legitimate reasons to not want to deal with people. I know why. Practice tact. Yeah. Adrian, I just don't think sugar is good, but no. No, I cannot put sugar above sex. Brandy, I agree. And both are addicting. I'm totally people avoiding now. I miss when work environments were more geared towards the professional and less towards social. Yeah. And I don't even know if I could speak a lot to that because I haven't had to deal with a lot of, being in close proximity with coworkers and stuff. Maybe even when I was a staff RN on the floor, not even that much, because I would hang in the nurses station, and the hospital I worked at, all the other staff nurses were my friends. And by the time I became a provider, we can hang out in our offices, so I don't have to make a lot of small talk. So I've been blessed. But knowing the person I am, it'd be very difficult for me to be in close spaces and have to do a lot of small talk. I'll just run out of energy. It's just not an enjoyable experience for me. I just don't like it. But I do like people, but on my own terms. Shiesty. Oh, matey, we still got Shiesty. Shiesty, come. I'm gonna take you to go pee. Up. Up. So up. Zo, up here. Zo, up here. Listen, Zo. Zo, up. There, there you go. Come on. Don't pee on me though. Zo, come on. You got all this energy to go through the trash, but now you can't jump on me. This girl's gonna pee on me. Please do not pee on me. Matey, I remember when I brought her home too. Wow. Wow. You remember when I brought this dog home? See, that's the cool thing about uh, live streaming for 6 years. Oh, I mean, 5 years, but I got Zoe 5.5 years ago. Wow. She was just a small puppy, and I brought her on the live stream, and I was so lost as a new dog owner. I was afraid of the dog when I first got Zoe. Dang. Dang. Time is flying. Mickey, Ficky. Yeah, Matey, I remember you've been there since 100,000 followers. Wow, 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 wow. Yep. Molly, you can definitely pet this dog. Shasty. Shasty. Good Zoe. I'm going to take you up. And then go hit the gym. Puppy. All right. Okay. All right. I got to let this dog pee. So that way she do not pee inside the house. I appreciate y'all. Virtual visits. Yes, from my private practice. I think we might be running out of dates for the end of the year. I'll have to talk to my team and see what they have up there. But yeah, we do. Oh, thank you so much. My dog has some really nice eyes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you as well, man. Yeah, I appreciate you. All right, so guys, today's what, Tuesday. All right, we'll be back Thursday at Zoe. Zoe, I'm getting off the live stream. Relax. You make me want to stay on the live stream. Okay, all right. Now you're scratching me. Now you're scratching me. What? 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 All right. Okay, somebody gotta pee. I got a Band-Aid. That's disgusting. Don't lick that zone. All right, guys. I'll be back on Thursday. I had said 6:30. Yeah, let's say 6:30 California time or West Coast time. But we were on time today. So I'm feeling great. We were on time today. So West Coast time, 6:30 p.m. On Thursday. I will see you all next. Until then, peace. Take care. I love y'all. Try and get some sleep. I'm going to get a workout in. Get this dog out to pee. A nice little workout. And then we're going to call it a night. Well, I can hear you.